Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Today I'm going to talk about solving quadratic equations when c equals to 0. I will just go through the first three methods, which are the first one when a equals to 1, so we used sum and product. The second one, when a doesn't equal to 1, we used product and product. And the third way that doesn't have any problem with a, either a equals 1 or a doesn't equal to 1, we use the quadratic formula. Now, what if c equals to 0? That means there is no constant. Here we will use factoring by moving x, not x power 2, x, the least power, outside as a common factor outside the bracket. Remember, factoring by using the common factor is the opposite way of distributive property. With distributive property, we used to multiply the term or the number before the bracket by everything inside. Here we will do the opposite. So when you move something outside a bracket, which is the common factor, you need to divide by it, divide everything by it. So let me go through the examples and things will look much easier. Remember, we use this when the constant is 0, so we don't have c. So the first example, solve the quadratic equation x power 2 plus 12x equals to 0. As you notice, here a is 1 and I really don't have any problem with a equals 1 or a doesn't equal to 1 because here we are not talking about sum and product. So b equals 12 and there is no c because there is no constant. So since both of them have x, that means x here is the common factor, not x power 2 x. So you need to move x outside the bracket and divide everything by it because x here is the common factor. So x power 2 divided by x is x. So this is the remaining. 12x divided by x is 12. So since I moved x outside, so this x disappeared. It became here outside. And one of the two x is here because it's x power 2. One of them is outside already because it's common factor. So here I have x and I have x. So x here is the common factor. So I divided everything by it. Now I have two terms multiplied by each other. The answer is 0. That means one of them is 0. So either x is 0. So here I got the first answer or solution, or the bracket is 0, so x plus 12 equals to 0, so x equals negative 12. So I have two answers, negative 12 and 0. So if I want to write the solutions in a set, so we will use this braces. We call it braces in math. So negative 12 comma 0. So here are the solutions. Let me go through another example which is a little bit more complicated. 7x power 2 minus 14x equals to 0. As you notice here, there are two numbers here, like the quadratic coefficient and the linear coefficient. So I have 7 and negative 14. Do you notice any that there is any relationship between 7 and 14? Did you notice that there is something here like GCF, which is the greatest common factor between 7 and 14? Is there any number that both of them are divided by? I think there is 7, right? So both of them can be divided by 7, so I will move 7 outside the bracket. Now, since both of them have x, I will move the least power, which is x, outside the bracket. Now I will divide everything by the term that I moved outside the bracket, which is 7x. Now, 7 divided by 7 is 1. So here we have 1. But as you know, we don't write 1. X power 2 divided by x, x. Now, negative divided by positive because I moved positive 7x outside, negative. 14x divided by 7x. So x and x are eliminated. 14 divided by 7 is 2. So now here I have two terms multiplied by each other. The answer is 0. That means either 7x equals 0. So we divide both sides by 7. So x is 0. This is the first solution. Or the bracket is 0, which is x minus 2 equals 0. We move negative 2 to the other side. It's going to be positive. So x equals 2. So here, as you know, I have two solutions, which are 0 and 2. So please write the solutions in a set so I will know that here are the solutions that you got. A little bit more complicated question. Solve the quadratic equation negative x power 2, let's say plus 5x, negative x power 2 plus 5x. So here we don't have a constant, we don't have c, so we will use factoring by moving x outside as a common factor. So now the number 5 cannot be moved outside because x power 2 doesn't have any number related to 5. So I will move just x outside the bracket and divide everything by x, because this is the rule. When you move something outside as a common factor, you divide by it. Negative divided by positive, negative. X power 2 divided by x, x. Now 5x divided by x divided by x is 1, so 5. Now either the first one is 0, so either x is 0, or the bracket is 0, negative x plus 5 equals 0. Here it's better to move negative x to the other side to make it positive. So x equals 5. So the solutions are 0 and 5. Thank you for watching, and it's your turn now. Please.